Wait, Stellar's still around. Let's call it like it is. To the average crypto fan, Stellar XLM is that name you vaguely remember from 2017, like an old classmate who went viral once, then fell off the map. You assume it either died, got delisted, or went off to join some dusty corner of CoinMarketCap with other forgotten tokens. But that assumption, dead wrong. Because while the spotlight moved to meme coins and overhyped NFT drops, Stellar didn't chase the noise. It didn't start dropping flashy roadmaps every week or burn tokens for clout. It didn't need to. Why? Because Stellar was never built for crypto tourists. It was built for institutions, for banks, for governments, for a world that demands trust, efficiency, and real-world interoperability. While retail was busy following TikTok traders and throwing bags at pump and dumps, Stellar was in quiet rooms with people wearing suits, not hoodies. It was integrating cross-border payment systems, partnering with real financial players, and becoming the infrastructure backbone most people will never notice but everyone will use. You think XLM is past its prime? That it missed its moment? No, it just matured when no one was watching. And now, the world's catching up. CBDCs, stablecoin regulation, banking on-chain, these aren't trends. They're the very thing Stellar's been preparing for since day one. So before you write it off as a relic, ask yourself this. What if the coin you ignored is the one that's been quietly outpacing the market's noise all along? Because this isn't just about Stellar being back. It's about the possibility that it never really left, and 2025 might be the year the world finally catches on. So buckle up. The dark horse is about to enter the main stage, and it's not here to ask for attention. It's here to take what it's been building for. The ghost in the blockchain. Let's rewind. The year is 2017. Crypto's going ballistic. Everyone's suddenly a blockchain evangelist. Bitcoin's making headlines, Ethereum's birthing 1,000 ICOs, and somewhere in the background, there's Stellar Lumens, XLM, quietly doing its thing. Back then, Stellar felt like a rising star. Fast transactions. A mission to bank the unbanked. Jed McCaleb, fresh off his Ripple escape, promising to build something cleaner, faster, more decentralized. For a moment, Stellar was in the spotlight, dancing right next to the big names. Then, silence. No rug pull. No scandal. No dramatic hard fork. Just a quiet fade from retail memory. But here's what nobody tells you. Disappearing from the hype doesn't mean disappearing from relevance. Because while every other project was trying to ride the next wave, Stellar was building something deeper and, ironically, less crypto. It wasn't aiming to become the next meme. It wasn't launching a yacht club. It wasn't burning coins or dangling airdrops like candy. Instead, Stellar was embedding itself into the pipes of the global financial system. Partnered with IBM, yes, that IBM, to run cross-border payments for banks in over 70 countries. It began powering real money transfers, the kind your auntie in Ghana needs when your cousin in London sends her money. It helped build MoneyGram's stablecoin on-ramp, letting people cash out USDC for fiat in over 300,000 physical locations. This isn't speculative fluff. This is infrastructure. While you were refreshing CoinGecko, Stellar was becoming the bridge between the old world and the new, a universal translator between banks, blockchains, and people. And let's be honest, it takes guts to walk away from the hype. In a world obsessed with dopamine hits and viral pumps, Stellar chose patience. It chose partnerships over press releases, code over chaos. And that decision might just make it the most dangerously underestimated asset in crypto right now. Because if you zoom out, you'll see it's been playing the long game from day one. And that game is now entering its endgame. The master plan. Most blockchains want to disrupt the system. Stellar wants to integrate with it. It's not trying to blow up banks. It's trying to make them better, faster, cheaper, borderless. And that's not just a clever mission statement. That's design philosophy baked into the protocol. Where Ethereum is the world computer, Stellar is the world's payment lane, laser-focused on frictionless value transfer. No bloat, no cartoon ape JPEGs, just money moving at light speed, anywhere, for anyone. But that's only the surface. The real power of Stellar's master plan is that it's not chasing retail hype. It's chasing financial infrastructure and doing it under the radar. Because while Deegans were busy yield farming, Stellar was doing this, working with central banks to explore CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, creating on-ramps for the unbanked, especially in emerging markets, where access to basic financial tools is still a luxury. Supporting fintech startups with real utility, like cross-border remittances, micropayments, and instant settlements. Think about that for a second. While most projects chase vaporware visions of world domination, Stellar said, what if we just make money work better everywhere for everyone? And so it started building a toolkit, anchors, entities that connect Stellar to local currencies, allowing users to deposit fiat and receive tokens 1:1 on-chain. These aren't just bridges. They're arteries for a new global economy. Stellar Consensus Protocol, SCP, a lightning-fast, low-energy alternative to proof-of-work that enables settlement in 5 seconds and with negligible fees. Interoperability. Stellar isn't tribal. It plays nice with other chains. Hello, Ethereum. With stablecoins. Hello, USDC. And with real-world cash. Hello, MoneyGram partnership. This isn't a master plan for a moonshot. It's a master plan for monetary rewiring, one small partnership, one corridor, one remittance channel at a time. And that's what makes Stellar dangerous in the best way. Because when the world wakes up and says, okay, enough hype, what actually works? Stellar won't need to reintroduce itself. It'll already be sitting at the table, in the room where it happens. Not screaming, not flexing, just moving billions quietly. And here's the twist. All of this is happening while the market is asleep on it. XLM's price action doesn't reflect its actual position in the new financial stack. Yet, but when the switch flips, when traditional finance needs a blockchain that's fast, compliant, scalable, and already playing ball with regulators, they're not choosing the loudest project. They'll choose the one that's already there, already vetted, already integrated, already tested. That's Stellar. That's the play. Strategic alliances that actually matter and could change the global financial game. In crypto, partnerships have become marketing fluff. Projects plaster a bunch of corporate logos on pitch decks, drop vague tweets about collaboration, and hope that retail eats it up. But let's call it like it is. Most of these partnerships are about as real as a celebrity shout-out on Cameo. Stellar? Completely different beast. While the hype machines chased headlines, Stellar has been quietly engineering alliances with real-world firepower, not just to partner, but to integrate, to infiltrate, to matter. Let's start with the juggernaut MoneyGram. This wasn't a flashy move for show. It was a surgical strike on the traditional finance system. 300,000 plus MoneyGram locations, from Lagos to Lima, from Bangkok to Baltimore, now allow users to on-ramp and off-ramp crypto with local fiat in minutes, thanks to Stellar. That's not a theoretical white paper use case. That's real utility for real people in real economies, especially in cash-heavy nations where access to banking is rare, but access to local agents is common. This isn't about chasing clout. It's about building the rails for a new financial future, one where people don't need a bank account to join the digital economy. And Stellar is already in the trenches. Next up, Circle and USDC. Everyone talks about stablecoin adoption, like it's some future milestone. Stellar just rolled up its sleeves and natively integrated USDC directly into its network. Why does this matter? Because in a world of volatile coins and rug pulls, institutions don't want risk, they want rails. They want compliance. They want speed. And they want it without the whiplash of price swings. USDC on Stellar offers exactly that. It's a regulated, stable, fast-moving medium of exchange for fintechs, payment platforms, and even governments. Think programmable money that doesn't scare regulators. Think seamless, transparent remittances without middlemen. Think bridges between emerging economies and the digital dollar. That's not hype. That's infrastructure. And yes, Stellar is working with the United Nations. Not a typo. Not an exaggeration. The UN has used Stellar's tech to deliver humanitarian aid directly to people in crisis zones. No middlemen skimming off the top. No banks dragging their feet. Just fast, direct, transparent aid delivery when it matters most. This isn't some future potential story. It's already happened. Blockchain with boots on the ground, changing lives in real time. Meanwhile, other blockchains are still pitching vaporware. While they chase likes and listicles, Stellar has spent the last few years locking in strategic, scalable, globally relevant alliances. The kind of moves that don't just change a chart, they change an industry. And here's the twist. Most of the market has no idea. Because Stellar doesn't scream. It executes. So what happens when the world realizes it's not just another coin, but a globally connected, institutionally integrated, humanitarian-grade payment network? The answer is simple. The re-rating will be violent. The narrative will flip overnight. And those who slept on it, they'll have missed the moment when quiet execution became unstoppable momentum. Want to bet against the only blockchain that's already sitting at the table with legacy finance and global aid organizations? Go ahead. But don't say you weren't warned. Because Stellar isn't knocking on the door. It's already inside. The infrastructure the world will wake up to when it's already too late. Let's be honest. Most crypto investors are dopamine addicts. They want fireworks, instant gains, 100x returns by breakfast. So when they look at Stellar XLM, they yawn. No meme coin vibes, no eccentric billionaire, no Discord drama. But what they fail to realize is this. Stellar isn't chasing hype. It's building legacy. At its core, Stellar isn't competing with Bitcoin. It's not even trying to rival Ethereum. Stellar is competing with the entire financial plumbing of the modern world. And it's already winning silently. The silent weapon, Federated Byzantine Agreement, FBA. Let's talk about Stellar's secret weapon. The Federated Byzantine Agreement, FBA. This isn't some buzzword salad, this is a legitimate evolution of consensus algorithms. While other chains are bickering over staking wars, validator dominance, energy costs, or 51% attacks, Stellar skips the drama entirely. FBA is fast, lightweight, resilient, secure, and, most importantly, it doesn't require global consensus from the entire network to confirm transactions. It allows for flexible trust, localized quorums, and blazing speed finality without compromising integrity. Stellar doesn't just scale, it glides. Fees so low, it's basically philanthropy. Stellar isn't just cheap. It's offensively cheap. The average transaction fee on the Stellar network is a fraction of a penny. We're talking micro-cents. Not dollars. Not nickels. Not even gwei. You could move money across the world faster and cheaper using Stellar than using a local bank transfer across the street. This isn't futuristic. This is happening. Today. Regulation ready before it was cool. While the rest of the crypto industry was cosplaying as anti-government rebels, Stellar was playing chess. Quietly, it was embedding features like compliance controls, built-in asset issuance, and support for regulated stablecoins. Why? Because Stellar wasn't designed for crypto brothers. It was designed for the next generation of financial rails. KYC? It's doable. AML? Built-in. Asset freezing and clawback? Optional features at the protocol level. This is why real-world institutions trust Stellar. It doesn't force them to compromise between innovation and compliance. The foundation that moves like a Fortune 500. The Stellar Development Foundation, SDF, isn't a group of developers LARPing in a Telegram chat. It's a mission-driven, globally active organization allocating funds like a fintech venture capital firm, but with an eye on financial equality. They're not sponsoring NFTs. They're onboarding real-world partners. IBM, MoneyGram, Circle, humanitarian organizations, and cross-border payment networks in regions where traditional finance has failed. And guess what? Most of their progress doesn't even trend on X, Twitter, because it's not designed for clout, it's designed for impact. The liquidity layer that doesn't need a spotlight. Stellar is quietly becoming a global liquidity layer. Think about that. It's the connective tissue between fiat and crypto, between remittances and smart contracts, between regulators and developers. And it does this without shouting, without vaporware promises, and without ever needing to go viral. That's power. Not flash. Not hype. Not FOMO. just relentless infrastructure-level relevance. So while everyone's watching the fireworks from meme coins and Layer 2 wars, Stellar is in the basement of the financial skyscraper, laying steel beams, pouring concrete, and installing pipes. Because when the speculative fog clears and the world needs a chain that just works, Stellar will already be there. And everyone else will look back and say the same thing. How the hell did we miss this? The financial world is rewiring itself, quietly, relentlessly, and without your permission. Here's the brutal truth. By the time the average investor realizes what's happening, it's already too late. The deals are done. The rails are laid. The winners are crowned behind closed doors. Stellar isn't asking for your attention. It doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to beg for a seat at the table. It built the damn table, and institutions are already sitting at it. You won't see it trending on TikTok. You won't see it hyped in Discord pump groups, because Stellar was never built for that noise. It was built for real-world adoption, in places where hype doesn't matter and utility is everything. Places where speed, security, and stability are the difference between opportunity and exclusion. While everyone was chasing the next pump, Stellar was building the financial infrastructure that quietly solves trillion-dollar problems. Not tomorrow, now. And whether you believe in its mission or not, whether you hold XLM or you don't, it's already moving. So here's the hard question. Will you keep waiting for permission to think differently? Or will you step off the sidelines and study the blueprint of what's actually coming? Because the next wave of adoption won't be loud. It'll be locked in, institutional, and deeply embedded. And those who were early, they won't need to scream, "I told you so." The results will do the talking. Look deeper. Act smarter. Move before the mob. You don't need hype to see the signal. You need clarity. You need courage. You need to think ahead of the crowd, not with it. So do your research. Pull up the partnerships. Follow the money. Examine the real-world use cases, cross-border payments, CBDCs, fintech rails, and tokenized assets. And when it clicks, and it will, you'll understand, this isn't just another altcoin story. It's the quiet foundation of tomorrow's financial system. You can laugh at it, you can ignore it, or you can front-run the future. But whatever you choose, just don't say you weren't warned. Because by the time the world starts paying attention, Stellar XLM will already be gone. Not down, but up, way up.